Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of the GGB Supplier Showcase. As always, I'm your host, Jess Marquez, and I'm so pleased to be joined by a first-time guest today, none other than Anne Leets, CEO of the Leets Consortium, a global leader of talent development and leadership coaching. Anne, how are you doing today?
Great. Wonderful to be here.
And it's great to have you here, and I'll give you the spiel of the first time guest spiel that I typically give whenever I get to talk to somebody new on this series, and that is that this series is one of my favorite things that I do in this job, in the sense that it gives both our viewers and myself a really kind of behind the scenes look at some of the companies and people really making it happen behind the scenes in the gaming industry. Obviously, I don't know if leadership coaching is necessarily the first thing that people would think of as being a supplier, but I think obviously those services are well needed and very valuable, as we'll talk about today. So again, it's just that's my spiel. I love to be able to talk to new people around the industry and get a sense of what goes on. So thanks again for coming on.
Sounds wonderful.
So we'll get into obviously everything regarding Leets specifically, but let's start with a general one. So for anybody who might be curious or kind of wondering about it, why should listeners kind of consider using leadership coaching or leadership development services in the first place?
Well, good morning, everyone. Nice to see you. Leadership coaching is something that is an investment for organizations, and I think that it's well documented that it plays a key role in the performance and the results that organizations can achieve. In fact, McKinsey has documented that organizations that make this kind of an investment can see as much as a 25% increase in business, a 50% increase in engagement and retention, and a great boost on their bottom line profitability. So leadership development, leadership coaching isn't just a nice to have, it can be a very strategic initiative for businesses who want to do better business. And if they have better leaders, their chances of doing that are much greater.
For sure, and obviously, gambling is the gaming industry is not unique among businesses, in the sense that they need their leadership to be on top of things. And obviously, having covering the business end of gaming, I think leaders need to be especially agile and especially versatile, because this industry changes very quickly, and things, what was true a year ago may not be true today, or may not be true a year from now. So I think obviously these services are very much in demand for gaming in particular. So for anybody watching, anybody watching who is considering these services, why should they choose Leets Consortium in particular?
Well, we have a 22-year history, but rather than brag about us, I'd rather demonstrate, not declare. That's one of our missions. And so to demonstrate why they should choose us, I would start with the companies that have chosen us along the way to support their success. And we're very proud of the work that we've done with Fortune 500, Fortune 100 companies. But the big names that come to mind are Amazon, Toyota, Disney, United Healthcare, Optum, In-N-Out Burger, Dole Pineapple, and many, many others. And I should mention, we've also been very excited to partner with MGM Resorts International. That's been a partnership that's been supporting their success for the last 10 years. We've also partnered with Aristocrat and with Caesars Entertainment. And for all of those reasons, these clients have chosen us because we do high quality work and we give them results. And the results are what they can see in their leaders. So there might have been a CFO who was very capable at the finance side of things, but the people side of things, not so much. So rather than have people crying or quitting, we can partner with that CFO to protect all that institutional knowledge and the great skill set, but help them to be more effective when they're dealing with people. And so we talk a lot about our success rate, and our success rate is what our clients tell us at the end of every engagement. We talk about, did we achieve your objectives? So when I say we have a 97% success rate, That's what our clients are telling us. And most importantly, that success rate represents a return on investment. And today, anytime you're spending your company's money, you want to be able to get a return. And so I think companies choose us because we have a lot of experience. We've been doing this since 2003. We have excellent consultant coaches, and we deliver results. And when we do that, we can give a return on investment, and the companies we partner with benefit because they can see not only their leaders becoming more effective, but their leaders having a very positive impact on the business.
Certainly, certainly, and I'm so happy that we're able to do this and to kind of get you guys in front of more gaming centric audiences. Obviously, with some of the names you rattled off, they're certainly some of the biggest players in the industry. So obviously, you need no introduction among the bigger companies. So in terms of the average, the average experience for somebody coming to Leets, kind of what kind of service, like what would you give in terms of a top-down breakdown? What kind of services do you provide? What's the kind of typical process, when you work with your clients? Kind of what can people expect when working with Leets?
Well, I'd love to share that because one of the things we take great pride in is our client services. We talk about white glove client services, and our goal is to make it very easy for any organization to partner with us. We'll also mention that we're all ears. We listen first, try to understand exactly what the objectives are for the client, and then we partner effectively and produce a custom solution for this client that will achieve their outcomes. And then we deliver. We follow through and we deliver the outcomes that we set out to achieve. And so it's a close partnership with lots of communication up front so that we recognize the unique qualities of a business, whether it's their culture, whether it's their objectives, whether it's their budget, quite frankly. So we partner very closely, listen up front to make sure that we're on the same page, and then we deliver. We deliver the outcomes that you're looking for. And along the way, it's important to mention here that as we customize these solutions to make sure they work for you, we are looking at one-on-one executive coaching. We've had examples where Disney, as an example, said that they never witnessed such a positive transformation in character and management style. Wow. But most importantly, the proof came not from my perspective, but from the overwhelmingly positive qualitative responses received from many individuals 2 and 3 layers below this leader. So there you have Disney talking about how we were able to affect a leader there. And in terms of MGM, their CHRO said, it's a pleasure working with the Leets Consortium. They always take time to listen and to understand the delivery and development needs of our leaders. They understand our culture, they understand our objectives, and they are open to feedback. We have seen much success with their executive coaching services. That's from MGM, their CHRO. So we do everything. If you can think of it, we can do it. If it's related to leadership, it could be one-on-one executive coaching. It could be group coaching for several of your high potential next generation of leaders. It could be a training session for your leadership team, no matter how big it is, to talk about leading change or how to drive performance. We also work with leaders and their teams to enhance team effectiveness. We had work with a C-suite leader at MGM, and he said to me, My team is still talking about the day they spent with you. He said it was nothing like anything we've done before, and this team is operating on all cylinders and working together very effectively. So think of us for any training, development, coaching, executive retreats. If you want an outside facilitator to lead your executive retreat, we can partner with you and give you a consultant that fits with your culture. You get to interview and choose who you want to have, and then we go from there to deliver an outcome that you're satisfied with.
And in terms of relationships with your clients, what would you say is kind of the breakdown or kind of the usual relationship in terms of, do you guys typically work for a set period of time, or do you have recurring clients that you see over and over again? Kind of what's the breakdown there?
It varies. And
Okay.
again, since it's all about the client, it depends
Sure,
what the
sure.
client needs from us. So sometimes we work with an executive for 6 months. Sometimes we deliver a training or a facilitation that's lasting 2 hours. But what we do is listen to what your objectives are, and then we propose alternatives that might work for you and go from there. So it starts with the client, and it can vary from 2 hours in a training meeting to a year of coaching with an executive and their direct reports.
Sure, sure. And I think one other thing that I'm very interested in is, obviously you guys have been doing this for a very long time. You've been helping counsel leaders for many years now. What would you say in terms of, we're here at the end of 2025, approaching 2026. What would you say are some of the key characteristics, or how would you define an effective leader in today's world or in today's business world, as opposed to, like, how would you say that kind of idea has changed over that time, or has it changed
It's
since you
such
started?
a really interesting point you're bringing up, because we just introduced a Leadership Insight series. These are master coaching classes. And before I put the series together, I researched through McKinsey, Gallup, Harvard Business Review, Forbes, Inc. What are the top leaders in organizations looking for in their leaders? So once I did this research, I came up with 6 master coaching classes. And by the way, these coaching classes are complementary with every coaching engagement we do. So with that, the topics are leading change, resilience, team effectiveness and performance, communication and influencing, presentation skills, and strategic thinking with an enterprise focus. So those are what I would call the top 6 leadership skills required to be successful today, because leaders are not having an easy time. The business landscape is changing at breathtaking speed. It's changing, it's getting more complicated, it's getting more competitive, and it's getting more challenging. So how do we equip our leaders with the skills they need to navigate all of that and still produce results as gaining engagement and retention with their team members? Challenging to be a leader today, and the best leaders don't do it alone. They have support.
It's too true, and obviously, as we see it in the gaming world, what things change quickly in terms of both, whether it's regulatory, legally, all those things change except for people, and people are still, or I should say, good people are still needed at every one of these places, and good leadership is something that never goes away, or never loses its value, I should say. This has been a great conversation, and again, one that I've really been looking forward to. For anybody who might be interested in your guys' services, what's the best way to get in touch? How should they contact you?
Well, there's a couple of things. First of all, you can go to our website, which is leetsconsortium.com. And if you want to request information from us, there's a place you can do that. But I invite you to contact me personally. I would love to hear from you with your questions anything more you want to know, and my personal email is Anne, ANNE, at leetsconsortium.com. So please get in touch with me. I would absolutely love to hear from you.
Awesome. Well, that's all I had for you today. Thank you so much, Anne, and best of
Thank
luck
you.
to Leets Consortium moving forward.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.